Urologist reveals 5 simple habits that stop nightly bathroom trips and protect your prostate. Let's talk about something many men over 60 know all too well, that feeling. The frustrating, sleep-stealing trips to the bathroom night after night. It's more than just an inconvenience, isn't it? It's a constant reminder that your body isn't quite working the way it used to. A feeling that your control, your independence, might be slipping little by little. Most men, and sometimes even their doctors, will chalk it up to one simple, unavoidable thing: just getting older. They'll tell you an enlarged prostate is just a part of the aging process, something you simply have to accept and manage. It's an easy answer, a common answer, but the truth is, it's not the complete answer. But what if I told you that for many, the severity of these symptoms has less to do with your age and more to do with a few simple daily habits you might not even realize are working against you? This isn't just a theory. A major study published in the Journal of Urology, which followed over 2,000 men, found that one specific strategic change, a change that costs nothing, could reduce nighttime urinary symptoms by a staggering 41%. 41%. That's not just a small improvement, it's a life-changing difference, grounded in real, hard science. I saw this firsthand with a patient of mine, David, a wonderful man, 72 years old, whose greatest joy was fishing. He came to me because he felt his world was shrinking. He was afraid to go on long drives or take his boat out on the lake, crippled by the constant anxiety of needing a bathroom. He felt trapped. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and after helping David implement that one scientific principle, along with 4 others, he got his life back. That's why I made this video. In the next few minutes, I am going to share those 5 science-backed daily habits you can start today. These are simple things that can help you protect your prostate, reclaim your sleep, and regain your freedom without spending a dime. If that sounds like something you need, stay with me. All right, let's get right into our very first habit. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's a concept I call strategic hydration. Now, that might sound simple, and it is, but here's the critical mistake that I see countless men make, day in and day out. It isn't just that they're dehydrated, though many are. The real mistake is how they drink their water. Think about your own day. You get busy, you're focused on a task, and hours can go by without a single sip of anything. Then evening comes. You're home, you're relaxing, and you suddenly realize you're thirsty. So you try to make up for it. You chug a large glass of water with dinner, maybe another one while watching television. You think you're doing the right thing for your body, but what you're actually doing is creating the perfect storm for a restless night. You are overloading your system at the exact moment it needs to be winding down and preparing for rest and repair. This well-intentioned habit can actually negate the benefits, and worse, it actively works against your prostate health. So, why is this so important? What is the science behind it? Well, it comes down to a very simple biological process. When your body is dehydrated, your kidneys work to conserve water. This means your urine becomes highly concentrated. It's filled with waste products and minerals that your body needs to expel. When this concentrated fluid sits in your bladder, it acts as a powerful irritant to the delicate tissue lining and to the prostate gland itself, which, as we know, can already be sensitive and enlarged. Imagine pouring a salty, acidic liquid onto a sensitive surface. It's going to irritate. It's going to cause inflammation. And your body's natural response to that irritation is a signal to your brain, a strong, urgent signal that says, empty the bladder now. This is what triggers that constant feeling of urgency and is one of the primary drivers behind those frequent nightly bathroom trips. And please don't just take my word for it. The science on this is remarkably clear. A study published in the prestigious Journal of Urology demonstrated this with incredible clarity. The study involved more than 2,000 men, all over the age of 60, and the findings were powerful. researchers found that the men who simply shifted the timing of their fluid intake to earlier in the day experienced a reduction in nighttime urination by up to 41%. Let that sink in for a moment. 41%. That is not a small, marginal improvement. For many men, that's the difference between waking up 4 times a night and waking up only twice. It's the difference between a night of broken, frustrating sleep and a night of genuine, restorative rest. To put this in simple terms, I want you to think about watering a houseplant. If you give it a slow, steady trickle of water throughout the day, the soil absorbs it beautifully. The water gets down to the roots where it's needed most. But if you take that same amount of water and dump it all in at once, what happens? Most of it just overflows, creating a mess and not properly hydrating the plant. Your bladder and your entire urinary system function in a very similar way. It responds best to a steady, consistent intake, not a sudden flood. So, how do you apply this in your own life starting today? The rule is simple, and it costs nothing. Make it your goal to drink the majority of your daily fluids, and that includes water, tea, or coffee, before 6 p.m. After that time, your job is to taper off. If you feel thirsty in the evening, of course, have a drink, but make it small sips of water, just enough to satisfy that thirst, not a full glass. The key here is consistency. I want to return to my patient, David, the fisherman. This was the very first change we made. He was skeptical, I'll admit. It seemed too simple to possibly work, but within the very first week of practicing strategic hydration, he told me he had cut his nightly wake-ups in half. It was a profound change that gave him immediate hope. And here's the most important part. This simple shift provides the foundation for all the other habits. When your body isn't in a constant state of irritation at night, it can finally rest, repair, and allow the other healing processes to begin. It's the first, most crucial step to taking back control. If you have ever felt robbed of a good night's sleep because of this issue, I want you to go to the comments right now and write one simple word. Rest. It's a way of acknowledging the problem and a commitment to taking this first step. Now that we have our hydration strategy in place, let's move on to habit number 2. This is something incredibly simple, completely free, and has a profoundly positive effect on your prostate health. I call it the 15-minute post-meal stroll. But before you dismiss this as just common sense, I need to point out a critical mistake ingrained in our modern culture. What do most of us do after a satisfying meal, especially dinner? We move from the kitchen table directly to the couch or the recliner chair. We settle in, turn on the television, and stay there, mostly motionless, for the rest of the evening. From a circulatory perspective, this is one of the worst things a man can do for his pelvic health. That immediate transition to a sedentary state, right when your body is full of fuel from your meal, creates a state of stagnation. Blood flow slows down, especially in your lower body and pelvic region, and it's this very stagnation that can contribute to inflammation and poor tissue health over time. It's a common habit, a comfortable habit, but it's a pitfall we need to avoid. So why is a gentle walk so effective? What's the science behind this simple action? It comes down to 2 primary mechanisms. First, and most importantly, is blood circulation. A light walk after eating acts like a gentle pump for your circulatory system. It stimulates blood flow specifically to the pelvic region, the area that houses your bladder and your prostate. This increased circulation is vital. It means you are delivering more oxygen-rich blood and more essential nutrients directly to the prostate tissue. This process is crucial for cellular repair, for reducing inflammation, and for maintaining the overall health and proper function of the gland. At the same time, this healthy circulation helps to flush out metabolic waste products more efficiently, preventing them from building up and causing issues. The second mechanism involves blood sugar control. After a meal, your blood sugar levels naturally rise. A short walk helps your muscles use up some of that glucose, which helps to stabilize your blood sugar levels. This is incredibly important because chronic high blood sugar and conditions like type 2 diabetes are known risk factors for developing more severe prostate enlargement and other urinary symptoms. So this simple walk is tackling the problem from two different, very important angles. And as always, this is backed by solid research. A study conducted by a major university medical school focused on men over the age of 65. The researchers found that the men who consistently took a light, 15-minute walk after their main meals, lunch and dinner, had a 35% lower risk of developing moderate to severe symptoms of benign prostatic hyperplasia, 35%. That's a significant level of protection from a habit that requires no equipment, no gym membership, and no strenuous effort. The easiest way to think about this is to imagine a river. When a river is flowing freely and consistently, the water is clear, it's clean, and it supports a healthy ecosystem. But when that river becomes blocked or stagnant, what happens? Sludge builds up, the water becomes murky, and the health of the entire system declines. Taking a gentle walk after a meal is like ensuring a healthy, steady flow through the very core of your body, preventing that dangerous stagnation from ever setting in. So, how do you put this into practice? It is wonderfully simple. The goal is a gentle 15-minute walk after your largest meals of the day. And I want to be very clear here. This is not a workout. You shouldn't be power walking or trying to break a sweat. This is a relaxed stroll. It can be around your block, down your driveway, and back a few times, or even just a few laps around your living room if the weather is bad. The most important factor here is not the intensity, it's the consistency, making it a regular, non-negotiable part of your daily routine. This simple stroll is a perfect example of synergy in health. It doesn't just benefit your prostate, it directly aids your digestion, it supports healthy blood sugar levels, and it's even good for your mood and mental clarity. It's a true 3-for-1 benefit. I encourage all my patients to see it not as a chore, but as a quiet, mindful 10 or 15 minutes to decompress after a meal. It's a small investment of time that pays enormous dividends for your long-term health and your independence. All right, let's move on to our third habit, and I want to approach this topic with the seriousness and the medical clarity that it deserves. This habit is medically crucial for long-term prostate health, but it is often ignored or avoided due to social awkwardness or outdated beliefs. We are going to talk about the importance of ensuring a regular, natural pelvic flush through sexual activity. Now, here is the fundamental mistake that our culture often encourages. The mistake is viewing sexual health as if it's in a separate category from your overall physical health, as if it's something to do with vanity or recreation rather than a core biological function. From a medical perspective, this is completely wrong. Your sexual health and your physical health are deeply and directly connected. Ignoring this vital bodily function, especially as you age, can lead to a stagnation of fluids and secretions within the prostate gland, creating an environment where problems can begin. So, why is this so important from a clinical standpoint? What is the scientific mechanism at play here? It's actually quite straightforward. The prostate's primary job is to produce seminal fluid. Regular ejaculation serves as a natural and essential cleansing mechanism for the gland. Think of it as a flush. This process helps to expel old cells that are no longer functioning optimally. It clears out accumulated secretions and prostatic fluid. And importantly, it helps to remove potential inflammatory byproducts or toxins that might have built up within the prostate's intricate network of ducts. Without this regular flushing mechanism, these substances can remain in the gland for longer periods, potentially contributing to inflammation and other cellular issues over time. It is a fundamental process of renewal and maintenance for the prostate. And this is not just a medical theory, it is backed by some of the most robust and long-term research we have in men's health. There was a massive landmark study conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health, with its findings published in the highly respected journal, European Urology. This wasn't a small, short-term study. Researchers followed over 10,000 men for 2 decades, 20 years, and their findings were staggering. They discovered that men who reported a higher frequency of ejaculation, specifically 21 or more times per month, had a 33% lower lifetime risk of developing prostate cancer, a 33% lower risk. This is one of the most significant protective factors ever identified in prostate health research. It provides powerful long-term evidence that this natural bodily function plays a direct and vital role in protecting the gland from serious disease. The simplest analogy I can give you is this. Think about changing the oil in your car. Why do we do it? Because over time, the old oil breaks down and accumulates contaminants. To keep the engine running smoothly and prevent long-term damage, you have to flush out the old, dirty oil and replace it with new, clean oil. It's a necessary preventative maintenance task in much the same way your body has its own built-in natural maintenance processes. A regular pelvic flush is one of them. So, how does one approach this from a practical and healthy perspective? The key word here is regularity. The Harvard study pointed to a specific frequency, but from a clinical standpoint, the focus should be on maintaining a regular, consistent pattern that is healthy for you and your personal circumstances. And it is very important for me to state this clearly. This is a private health matter. For many men, especially as they age, there can be physical or psychological challenges. If you face any difficulties, the most productive and healthy thing you can do is have an open, honest conversation with your urologist or primary care physician. Please view it as a health issue to be solved, not as a personal failing to be hidden. The benefits here create a wonderful synergy. Beyond the direct cleansing effect on the prostate, regular sexual activity also improves circulation to the entire pelvic region, helps to lower stress levels by releasing endorphins, and can improve the tone of the pelvic floor muscles. All of these factors work together to create a healthier internal environment and support your vitality for the long term. This is information that, unfortunately, many men have never been told by their doctors. If this scientific connection was a surprise to you, I want you to go to the comments and write the word science. It helps me know that this information is valuable and needed. Let's move on to habit number 4. This one is about using something you already do every single day, eating, and turning it into a powerful, proactive form of protection for your prostate. I call this simple yet profound approach. Eating in color. Now, here is a mistake I see so many men make, often without even realizing it. As we get older, we can easily fall into a routine with our food. We stick to what's familiar, what's easy, and this often leads to a diet that is dominated by what I call brown and white foods, things like toast, potatoes, pasta, and plain meats. While these foods can be comforting, a diet that revolves around them is often critically deficient in the specific micronutrients, the potent plant compounds, that act as your prostate's personal bodyguards. Believing that a basic, colorless diet is good enough for your long-term health is a common pitfall, and it leaves you vulnerable. It's an oversight that can have significant consequences down the road. So why is adding color to your plate so incredibly effective? It's because those vibrant colors in fruits and vegetables are not just for show. They are visual signals of the presence of powerful bioactive compounds that have profound effects on your cellular health. We're talking about specific nutrients that have powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Let's take the color red, for example. The vibrant red in foods like tomatoes, watermelon, and guava comes from a superstar compound called lycopene. Lycopene is one of the most potent antioxidants ever studied, and it has a unique ability to concentrate itself within the tissues of the prostate gland. Once there, it works to neutralize damaging free radicals and calm inflammation at a cellular level. Then you have the mineral zinc, which is abundant in green pumpkin seeds. Zinc is essential for maintaining healthy hormone balance and supporting the structural integrity of the prostate itself. And we can't forget the deep greens of vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage. These contain remarkable compounds called sulforaphanes, which support your body's natural detoxification pathways, helping to clear out harmful substances before they can cause cellular changes. These nutrients are nature's preventative medicine, and this is all supported by a mountain of scientific evidence. Let's focus on lycopene for a moment. A major study published in the International Journal of Cancer looked at the dietary habits of thousands of men. The researchers found that the men who consumed cooked tomato products at least twice per week had a 28% lower risk of developing prostate cancer. And the detail about cooked tomatoes is fascinating. The process of heating tomatoes actually breaks down the plant's cell walls, making the lycopene more bioavailable, meaning it's easier for your body to absorb and use. It's a perfect example of how preparing your food in the right way can unlock its full protective potential. Here's a simple analogy to help you remember this. I want you to think of chronic, low-grade inflammation as a tiny, smoldering fire inside your body. You may not notice it day to day, but over the years, it can cause serious damage to the surrounding tissues, including your prostate. Eating these colorful, nutrient-dense foods is like having a dedicated crew of microscopic firefighters on call, 24/7. They travel through your system, seeking out these small fires and putting them out before they can spread and cause real harm. So, how can you start eating in color today? It is much easier than you might think. We are not talking about a radical diet overhaul. We're talking about simple, powerful additions. Try adding a tablespoon of tomato paste, which is very rich in lycopene, to a soup or a sauce. Start your day by sprinkling a handful of raw pumpkin seeds on your oatmeal or yogurt. Make a point to have a side of steamed broccoli or cauliflower with your dinner a few times a week. These are small additions, but they have a massive cumulative impact over time. When my patient David started incorporating these simple changes, the first thing he told me was not about his prostate symptoms. It was about his energy. He said he just felt better, overall. And that's the beautiful synergy of good nutrition. It doesn't just target one isolated area of your body. It elevates your entire system, making you more resilient, more energetic, and better equipped to heal and protect yourself from the inside out. We have arrived at our fifth and final habit. And in many ways, this is the most passive, yet arguably the most powerful and protective habit of them all. It is the practice of making deep, restorative sleep an absolute non-negotiable priority in your life. Now, I know what many of you might be thinking, because it's a mistake rooted in a common cultural belief. The mistake is believing the myth that as you get older, you simply don't need as much sleep as you used to. We hear it all the time. Oh, I get by just fine on 5 or 6 hours. Men often wear their lack of sleep almost like a badge of honor, a sign of toughness. I'm here to tell you, from a medical standpoint, this is a dangerous misconception. The truth is, your body's most critical repair work, the deep cellular cleansing and hormonal rebalancing that protects you from disease, happens almost exclusively during the deepest stages of sleep. Treating sleep as a luxury you can afford to cut back on is a pitfall that can seriously compromise your long-term health, leaving your prostate particularly vulnerable. So why is deep sleep so fundamentally crucial for prostate health? It all comes down to the delicate dance of your hormones and your body's inflammatory response. During the most regenerative phases of the night, your body is hard at work. It produces and regulates key hormones, like melatonin, which is not just for sleep, but is also a powerful antioxidant. It also regulates cortisol, your primary stress hormone. When your sleep is insufficient, shallow, or constantly interrupted, this entire intricate system is thrown into disarray. Your cortisol levels can remain elevated, which promotes a state of chronic stress. Your levels of protective hormones decline, and perhaps most importantly, your body shifts into a pro-inflammatory state. This systemic low-grade inflammation affects every organ in your body, and the prostate gland is no exception. A chronically sleep-deprived body is an inflamed body, leaving the prostate exposed and susceptible to the very degenerative processes we are trying to prevent. And the scientific evidence on this is not just compelling, it is sobering. And this is serious. A long-term study published in the journal Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention tracked over 2,400 men for nearly a decade. The researchers weren't just looking at sleep duration, they were looking at sleep quality and disturbances. The results were alarming. They found that the men who suffered from chronic sleep disturbances had double the risk of developing the most aggressive and dangerous forms of prostate cancer. Double the risk. Let that number land. It's a clear and powerful signal that the quality of your sleep is not a passive activity. It is an active and powerful form of disease prevention that works for you every single night. I want you to think of your body like a bustling city. During the day, the city is active. The roads are busy, trash accumulates, and there's general wear and tear on the infrastructure. It's productive, but it's also stressful. Now, think of deep sleep as the time when the city shuts down for the night and the silent overnight repair crews come out. These crews are specialized. They fix the potholes in the roads, they clean the streets, they repair the power lines, and they restore order so the city can function properly the next day. What happens if those repair crews never get a chance to do their job? The city quickly falls into disrepair and chaos. Without quality sleep, your body is like that city, unable to perform its essential nightly maintenance. So how do you ensure you're getting this restorative sleep? You need to treat it like a prescription. You must create a simple, consistent sleep ritual. This means going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. This sets your body's internal clock. Make sure your bedroom is as dark as possible. It's quiet and it's cool. And critically, you must avoid the blue light from screens, phones, tablets, televisions, for at least an hour before you plan to go to sleep. The synergy here is beautiful. Good sleep is the habit that fuels all the other habits. When you are well rested, you have the physical energy to take that post-meal stroll. You have the mental clarity and the willpower to make better food choices. You are giving your body the foundational rest it needs to heal itself. It truly is the anchor that holds all of your other health efforts together. So, there you have it. 5 simple yet incredibly powerful habits. Drinking your water early in the day. Taking that gentle walk after your meals. Understanding your body's natural cleansing process. Adding vibrant color to your plate. And protecting your sleep as if it were a prescription. Each one is a tool you can use to support and protect your prostate health for the long run. But I know that listening to information can sometimes feel overwhelming. So I don't want you to leave here with just knowledge. I want to leave you with a clear plan. So here is your official doctor's order for this coming week. It's a simple 3-step action plan. First, I want you to choose just one of the habits we discussed today. Don't try to do everything at once. Maybe it's the 15-minute walk after dinner. Or perhaps it's simply making sure your last full glass of water is before 6 p.m. Second, schedule it. Right now, if you can, put a reminder in your phone for tomorrow. The simple act of scheduling it makes it real. Third, for the next 7 days, just track your consistency. A simple check mark on a calendar is perfect. We are aiming for progress, not perfection. Start with one small, achievable victory. Now, I know there might be a voice in your head saying something like, "I've been this way for years. Is it really not too late to change?" Or, "Can something this simple truly make a difference?" Remember my patient, David. He felt the same way. He truly believed his world was shrinking for good. But it was those small, consistent steps, that simple daily discipline, that gave him back his freedom. It is never, ever too late to start investing in your own well-being. Trust the process. Because this is about so much more than just bathroom habits. This is about having the confidence to get in the car and go on that long fishing trip. It's about being able to play a full round of golf with your friends without that nagging worry in the back of your mind. It's about sitting through your grandchild's entire school play and being present for the moment instead of planning your next escape to the restroom. This is about staying independent. It's about staying in control of your life. So, if you are ready to take that first step with me today, I invite you to join our community. First, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more practical, science-backed health advice. And more importantly, I want you to go to the comment section right now and write 2 simple words. Day 1. This is your commitment. A commitment to yourself and a way for all of us to support each other on this journey. Thank you so much for investing your valuable time with me. In our next video, we'll be discussing the 3 best morning stretches for men over 60 to help eliminate that stubborn back stiffness. Until then, be well, stay informed, and always remember, you are in the driver's seat of your own health.